You can know the library. We would yeah. And when you say, one arm shows that. When she goes or something. Well, when you turn around. Your name money order. What should have been on it should be eating people or trying to do. Not that don't play with me. And then I understand that this time. What is they looking at it? No, okay, I'll let you speak. I'll let you speak and then I'm gonna speak. And I got lawyers from Grand of the City. Yeah. Go pay that.
So what are you saying about the
in terms of
I don't know, he said I was going to
Is it in this envelope? Is it in the Outlook mailbox of this computer?
I'm gonna just join from my personal insurance.
I just said the bottom is the secretary that responsibility for
about how to I know that. Oh, they got that. They got families.
That's Terry. Is your essay done? Okay, good. I got everything. I did nothing. Oh, good.
It's not allowed.
Okay.
The district resident should be subject to. Yeah. Right now there's call they do. Just like we're just man, I should
Can you promote me?
I want to walk the edge,
Dakota, yeah, can you get the water from under the this one? Out of the oven. Oh, it's underneath the table.
You want me to put it on the table or the refrigerator? Is your personal?
Yeah, she's just like, oh.
Okay. Panelists?
Yep. You let me co-host.
Okay.
What's the name of that street on? Is it Rainbow? That was on the corner and it moved. I didn't know there's another 24-hour sport.
Make me co-host, please.
I didn't pass no mind for real. I didn't Is that all you're putting down there for time after time? Chicken joints and smoked cigarettes. Yeah. Then we'll get a CD like some work time and play my house.
Is it actually going to be in wards?
I just found out about it from that is going to be in the RFK. Nothing. Water. gentleman over here.
Okay, well, like we thought, which is fine.
It's not in Minneapolis, it's going from Route 4.
Okay, there you go, Lord.
And there's a beach, and in this beach, there's a small hotel. But down in the lower, they have slot machines.
Oh,
They
the one
don't
out
do,
Pennsylvania?
yeah,
Way,
they
oh,
don't do nothing
that's
else
what
but
you
slot.
call that been there, right?
Yeah,
You know what? Oh, thank you.
I thought she made me calls. Sorry. All right, we'll figure it out.
The owl picking up the voice.
Well, we'll find out tonight. But
The
I
owl picking up the voice. Everything's done.
okay, so, I know, you quiet, I'm out.
Good evening, the time is 6:50 PM. We will officially call this November 18th General Commission this November 18th, 2025 General Commission meeting to order. At this time, I ask that you will pause with us for a brief moment of silence. Thank you so much. At this time, ask that our well, I need to make sure that the folks on Zoom can hear us. Let's see, we're off mute. Commissioners, can y'all hear us? Oh, it's picking up. Okay, we're good. I think we're good. All right. At this time, Dakota, can you conduct our roll call, please?
Commissioner Holcomb,
Present.
Commissioner Ruff,
Present.
Commissioner Orndorff,
Present.
Commissioner Nelson,
Present.
Commissioner Hughes, Commissioner Edwards,
Present.
Commissioner Thompson Wright,
Present.
Commissioner Cunningham. Commissioner Cunningham,
He's in. No, he's in the backstage. Commissioner Cunningham, you there?
Good afternoon, how y'all doing?
All right, we're conducting a roll call. Can you confirm that you're present?
My name is Harold Cunningham, 7FO8, ANC Commissioner of DC Jail, CTF, and the Harriet Tubman Women's Shelter.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Cunningham. For the record, present or here will do in the future. Appreciate you nonetheless. Can
Thank
we
you.
confirm that we have a quorum established?
yes.
Yes, okay. A quorum has been established. Before we move with the adoption of our agenda this evening, I would like to make a statement today regarding two particular matters. The first is the Fort DuPont Ice Arena, which has had a lot of scrutiny around it most recently. My colleague, Commissioner Edwards, it falls under her current peer review. It fell under Commissioner Hughes, who was previously over that district area. A lot that is happening there and on that front, and this commission fought to maintain accountability as it pertained to ensuring the recreation center got built. The fact that the recreation center got built and a number of concerns were ignored, but that also some of the breakdown in communications that occurred. One of the main things that we advocated for, and some of you in this room and online tonight know, that we advocated to ensure that there was some form of a community advisory board established as they went through the development process. Anytime there's development that happens in our community, it is imperative that there be a dynamic and a process where the community has the ability to get feedback and touch base outside of the bounds of an ANC meeting to this end, and it's not to throw anybody under the bus, but we barely were meeting with them on a 6-month period or so. And so we know that had that dynamic of us being able to have a community advisory board been established, and there's certain dynamics around where we are now that we believe we would not have been in. But I want to commend Commissioner Edwards, Commissioner Hughes, Commissioner Thompson-Wright, Commissioner Ruff, and others who have been involved in this major push for transparency and advocacy around the ice skating rink. More importantly, what it will look like for our young people as the ice skating rink opens up. The second thing I want to say tonight, before we move into the formal adoption of our agenda, is this commission is no stranger to being in the middle of controversy. We sat in the middle of controversy when it pertained to a marijuana dispensary. We sat in the middle of controversy when it came to fighting a 300+ bed halfway house, in which we were able to slow down the process for that for a number of years. And then when we realized that there was a dynamic that was shifting against us, we did what was in the best interest of our community in terms of being able to make sure that we had conversations with those who mattered in terms of the decision making. Tonight's opportunity before us is no different than any of those particular ones that were just named. This is an opportunity for us as a community to not just talk about the future, but to really be ingrained in what the future means for our direct community and our neighbors that surround us. That said, I am confident of my colleagues who have been engaging directly with the Chapman Group, Chapman Holdings. I'm confident in the character and the commitment to service and community of Commissioner Shirley Thompson-Wright, who represents the district where that proposed development would go. As a commissioner, before becoming a commissioner some years ago, met the Chapman Group, Chapman Holdings Group, and therefore, because of the early connection to DC that I was able to give them, tonight I will be recusing myself from a vote, as I want to make sure that there is nothing that prevents this kind of an opportunity that will benefit our community in a major way from having any form of a stumbling block. That said, at this time, is there a motion to adopt this evening's agenda?
I motion.
I second.
Motion properly made by Commissioner Ruff, seconded by Commissioner Thompson-Wright. Any discussion? Discussion?
Just about the secretary's report, where we are with that.
Do we want to do discussion now or wait till we get to that point?
Like, we can make the report.
Okay. All right. All those in favor of moving forward with the agenda as presented for this evening indicate, I'm sorry, we'll move to the previous question, now the vote. All those in favor of moving forward with our agenda as presented for this evening indicate so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, the ayes have it, it is unanimous. We want to recognize at this time Lieutenant Adoji. I hope I'm saying your name correct, Lieutenant. Lieutenant, you with us?
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Thank you. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I just want to briefly go over some stats.
Lieutenant, we can hear you, but we can't see you.
Something's wrong with my phone camera,
Okay.
and I think it's because I'm driving. I'm on the street right now, so it might not connect. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. So just want to go over a couple stats in the area. So right now, as far as assaults with dangerous weapons, the last 30 days we had about 6. Most of those are going to be closed, or they're pending closed with arrest. We have about 2 robberies. That puts us at negative 71% in reference to the robberies from last year around this time and the robberies this year. For burglaries, we don't have any burglaries the last 30 days. Still motor vehicle thefts and thefts from autos are still an issue. We do have our auto theft units and our crime suppression units in the areas, doing their best to combat the crimes in reference to the motor vehicle thefts. We also have our federal partners assisting with us during the daytime and evening time in reference to the motor vehicle thefts and the theft from autos. Thefts from the stores, we still have issues with that, especially the gas stations and the grocery stores in the area, Safeway. We do have our community outreach team and also our SMU, Special Missions Unit, that are combating those crimes as well. They're going into the grocery stores, doing operations in these stores, attempting to lock the individuals up who are continuously going inside these stores to commit these crimes. Outside of that, we did have one homicide, 3500 Minnesota Avenue. I believe that's being close. It's still a hot case, but it's being close to being closed. I believe the suspect is known by homicide, so they're still working on that. Outside of that, I don't have anything else for crime statistics.
Okay. Lieutenant, thank you so much. And I apologize, I didn't lead with saying thank you for being on with us this evening and apologize for our delay in getting started. Want to yield the floor at this time to any commissioners who may have MPD related matters they'd like to bring to the lieutenant, or if there are folks who are online, if you have anything you'd like to bring, please feel free to do so at this time. Commissioner Stanford?
Yes, I would like any updates on the shooting and the death of the resident Davy on 47th Place and Sheriff Road. Do you have any updates on that? It occurred approximately at 7:55 Eastern Time yesterday evening. What is the update?
So that's still being investigated. There's no updates in reference to from homicide detectives. So right now that's still being investigated, and hopefully the next meeting I should be able to have additional information for you guys in reference to that.
Thank you.
Any other committee members with matters for the lieutenant? I don't know if we have anything on the chat.
Commissioner Orndorff.
Commissioner Orndorff, the floor is yours.
Yes, Commander, do you have any update on the critical missing young man from 4400 block of Blaine Street, Matthew Banks, next door neighbor?
I believe that individual was located. Let me confirm.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Lieutenant, we don't want to hold you any longer. Thank you so much. Again, we appreciate you being on, and thank you for all you do to keep 6D and Ward 7 safe.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, that missing person case has been closed by missing persons.
Got it. Okay. Commissioner Orndorff, did you hear that? The case has been closed.
You, Commander.
All right. Thank you. Moving on with our agenda for the evening. This time, Jennifer Coney, the Director of Planning and Analysis, with the Deputy Mayor for Education. Jennifer, I see you rejoined. The floor is yours. We'll ensure you're made a co-host so you can share screen for your presentation for the evening. Again, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, we're gonna
I
start the
appreciate
timer
it.
for a 10-minute presentation.
Okay, that sounds great. So thank you again for allowing me to present and be here tonight. I really apologize that I'm not there in person. If you all deem that it's a good use of your time for me to come back in December, I would be more than happy to. So maybe I can go ahead and share my screen. I don't know if I have access to that. All right. What do you all see?
We can see your screen.
Perfect. Okay, great. Okay, so thank you again for the time. I'm going to talk a little bit about what's called the dual language feasibility study. I'm going to talk about some options or models that we are exploring that I would love to get your and the other members of 7F's opinions about. And I'll go through some next steps. Okay, so I work for the Office of the Deputy Mayor for Education. The Office of the Deputy Mayor for Education, or DME, is one of the mayoral bodies that advises the mayor on all things education and workforce. And we have been, I don't believe I came to 7F a couple years ago, but when we were doing the boundary and student assignment study, we were focused, one of the many things that we were focused on was looking at the equity of dual language programming across our city, and in particular looking at east of the river in wards 7 and 8. And so this is a slide that is from the boundary study from a couple years ago that just displays both our DCPS and public charter schools that offer dual language. And you can see that for elementary schools that it tends to be focused in wards 1, 4, and 5. In middle schools, again, in the same area, and then high schools in the same. Over time, of the last, let's say, 10 years, there has been more dual language programming offered in both Ward 6 and now Ward 7, but there continues to be 0 dual language programs offered in Ward 8. And so the boundary study that we worked on a few years ago focused on this lack of equity and made a number of recommendations in order to explore how we can help address this. And the council also agreed with this need and legislated recently that we assess what's called the feasibility of creating or expanding dual language middle school options in 7 and 8 aligned with existing elementary programs. So council identified some options. We are continuing to add some other to the pool that we're considering and looking at data analysis and getting community feedback. But our study sort of has 3 core elements: data analysts, expert input, and community feedback specifically from Ward 7 and 8 in east of the river. So that involves school and community meetings. We have a series of 6 focus groups. We have an online poll, and we are coming to as many meetings as we can, like yours tonight, to help spread the word and get some input. So again, I really appreciate it. We're getting some help from Ethnology LLC, as well as Elect Ed. Ethnology is helping us facilitate our focus groups, and Elect Ed is helping mobilize Ward 7 and 8 residents to engage and give feedback. So this is all to explore options to get a more complete understanding, to sort of really lay out the parameters of what maybe could happen in the future. It certainly does not guarantee a new school at this point. And so I'm going to go ahead. I have a couple more slides. I'm going to go through this. I can't see anybody. And then I'm going to pause and take down my my presentation and leave it to you, Commissioner Holcomb, to facilitate. And then it would be great if you could share this deck after the fact. So what do we mean by feasible? We're looking at the costs, we're looking at the instructional models, and we're looking at staffing requirements. And then what we're trying to do is assess an impact. If one of these options were to come to light, what would be the impact on nearby school enrollment, on English language learner students, and student transportation needs? So what is dual language middle school programming? This has actually been quite a learning experience for us all. Many people that we've been talking so far understand what dual language programming is, right? Which is acquiring 2 languages and learning academic content in the 2 languages. So the program is aiming for bilingualism and biliteracy. So it's not just taking a French class, it's taking a French class in chemistry, let's say. But what's a little bit different about middle school programming, that is for elementary school dual language programming, it's about 20-25% of the schedule is those content classes in a second language. So it's a little bit lower than what it is typically at an elementary school. So again, 2 content classes a week. It could be, let's say, a humanities class, and let's pick Spanish for the moment. It could be a humanities class in Spanish, and then let's say an algebra class in Spanish. We would want to have a dual language middle school program that could have varying levels to accommodate students as they enter, right? So it could be that students have limited experience with dual language before they come in, so they would need a beginner, as well as students that are coming from, let's say, Houston Elementary School that have been having and learning Spanish for the last few years. And those students themselves most likely come in at a different, variety of levels based on how they've been able to learn over their elementary school period. And the last part that we're thinking about with the dual language programming is we need a minimum of 50 to 75 students per language per grade needed. So that's for each grade, you would need at least that many students for each of the, let's say, the language pathways in order to make sure that we have the scheduling and budget to meet their needs. Okay, so let me go through some of the options that are being explored. Right now, what you can see, the black dots, and hopefully you can see this pretty clearly, the black dots are the existing middle and high schools that are offering either dual language or something like dual language programming. And then there's 4 options that we have been soliciting feedback from. So one is a strand program at Kelly Miller in Ward 7. Another one is a strand program at Jefferson Middle School in Ward 6. We've been talking about, could there be some sort of centralized hub in a ward or 7-8 location that allows students access to dual language programming for half the day? Or could there potentially be a brand new middle school, perhaps at Winston in Ward 7, which I know is not too far from you all, that has been vacant since 2012 or so. And so I'm going to go through each of those options to explain them a little bit more. And then I'll give you next steps and then I'll pause. Okay. So the first one is a potential strand program at Kelly Miller Middle School. A strand program is essentially a pathway that a subset of students would take their dual language programming in. So a cohort of students would come in, let's say at 6th grade, we would say there's at least 50 to 75 of those kids. They would take at least 2 of their content classes in Spanish, which, let's say, again, it could be a humanities and it could be a math class or a science class. And then they would blend, depending on the number of students that enter, they could blend or not with the rest of the school in order to take the other academic classes that they would need. So this would be a potential strand program that could potentially start in a few years. This would be only Spanish. DCPS right now for their dual language programs only offers Spanish as a dual language. Of course, they offer many other language courses that one could take. You could take, Mandarin, or you could take Italian. But for dual language and actually taking your academic content, it would be Spanish. So that's a potential option that we're soliciting, we're getting feedback on. And as you know, Houston Elementary School already feeds to Kelly Miller. Houston has its full school model dual language, so they could go ahead and continue their academic learning in Spanish at Kelly Miller. And we would certainly explore, as part of our recommendations, making sure that this would accommodate Global Citizens and Stokes East End that offer Spanish. It does not then help the other students that are either learning Mandarin at Global Citizens or French at Stokes, but it would address the needs of those students taking Spanish. The second option is a strand program that is planned. DCPS announced it this past summer, and they're phasing in a strand Spanish dual language program at Jefferson Middle School, which on the map you can see, right? I don't think you can see my cursor, but that's the number 2 here on the map, here in Ward 6. That is a planned phase-in. That is the feeder school for Chisholm Elementary School that is currently a mixture of strand and whole school dual language program that's reverting to a full school model over the next few years, and that's supposed to start in 27-28. So we're trying to get feedback from Ward 7 and 8 families. What would you think about potentially attending at Jefferson Middle School for a similar type of program? The other 2 are a bit more creative in our thinking. And so the third one is this centralized hub. This is a potential idea that could be at a Ward 7 or 8 location. That location has not been identified yet. This is based off of the Advanced Technical Centers, which hopefully you're familiar with, or ATC, that opened in Ward 5 a few years ago and has most recently this school year opened in Ward 8. The Advanced Technical Centers, as they are right now, are targeted to high school students focused on career technical education in either health sciences or cybersecurity. And so the idea is that students take, for half the day, they go to the hub and they take in-person programming. And so in this case, it would be advanced languages in their content courses a few days a week. Some of the benefits of an ATC is students can stay enrolled in their home school. If not being educated at home, they would enroll at, let's say, Kelly Miller, or they would enroll at Hart, or they would enroll right at any of the other middle schools that are in the area. But then part of the day they would be transported to this centralized hub to continue, let's say, their advanced language learning in Chinese or Spanish, or we have a dual language program that offers Hebrew, for example. So it could really accommodate a large number of languages. It also allows us to have more flexibility in attracting more students from across the city
Jennifer?
in order to help. Yes.
Hi, so sorry, we're 10 minutes have elapsed. If you could close, and then we'll allow for a few questions.
Sure. And then the fourth one is a potential dual language middle school that could potentially be at Winston that could accommodate multiple classes. So this is the last slide that I have, Commissioner. So we have both, again, you have this deck already, a one-page description. We have a poll asking for people's feedback. We are going to do a town hall in December, and we have these focus groups that are 2 have happened already. We have 2 more, one on Saturday, one on December 3rd, and 2 virtual focus groups for Spanish speakers this week. Okay?
Thank you so much. At this time, we will yield the floor to a few questions. I think we do have a few in the chat.
Okay, we have one question. Will dual language be available in English for students who are not fluent? For example, a student who is fluent in Spanish but wants to learn English. What is the plan to expand this to every school? Will it be made mandatory in the future for every school to offer such?
Great. Thank you for the question. It's a good one. There's a couple things here. One is this could certainly benefit English language learners, those who their home language is in Spanish. And so that's why we're trying to talk to Spanish-speaking families. That's their predominant language. There is also services that every school, DCPS and charter, provide to assist with English language learners. So there are services directly for those students, regardless of whether they're at a dual language school or not. So that is mandatory. A dual language program is not mandatory.
We have, okay. We have one statement. The team presented to Stokes, but glad to see the DME coming to the ANC meeting.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for having me. And we're going to 7 BO5, I believe, Thursday night.
Awesome. Commissioner Stamper?
Hi, yes. So my son used to go to Shirley Chisholm. However, since he was an IEP student, he was forced to do dual language, and he needed ELA and math all day, and that was not offered, nor was it told to me when he enrolled in pre-K 3. So I had to transfer him in order for him to get his needed education, what he needed. And it was very frustrating that that wasn't told to me. What is the plan to support IEP learners with this dual language model east of the river? You know, there's a lot of IEP students east of the river. So how are we going to support, you know, IEP learners, you know, their civil rights and educational rights on top of this dual language immersion tracks and program? What's the plan from the DME for that?
Thank you, Commissioner. That's a great question. And you're right. Our students with special needs are very important, and we need to make sure that we are meeting their IEP and they're getting the services they deserve. All of these options none of them are mandatory. So they would still serve an IEP student, and students can opt into them or out of them if they choose, right? None of this is, to the earlier question, none of this is a mandatory program. We're not suggesting, for example, that all of Kelly Miller become a dual language. It would be a strand. So one, if an IEP student with an IEP was in a strand, we'd have to meet their educational needs. And then I think, the family and the school would make sure that that dual language program is working or not, and then switch them into the appropriate program.
So you won't be changing the charter in the future of Kelly Miller like you did at Houston to mandate that it's a dual language school? That's not in the DME's plan, right?
Correct. We're not asking that Chisholm is a full model school, correct? Kelly Miller would be just a portion of those students, correct?
Oh, okay. Thank you for going on the record and saying that.
Yeah.
Is there a ballpark figure for the cost of a strand program?
Oh, this is the perfect question. So there will be a ballpark figure. That's part of my job, right? Mine and the team's job. That's one of the things that we have to do, is to sort of try to the best of our ability in a relatively short time, give at least estimations of costs for each of those 4 options. So I don't have it with you now, but that's on our docket to do.
Okay. The next question, would it be more beneficial for a Spanish-speaking student to learn dual language in a classroom setting rather than through a school resource to make them feel more like a student and not separate individually?
I'm going to answer this in a roundabout way. So we have a number of dual language elementary schools. I'm going to start with elementary schools because it's a little bit easier. And some of them programs, again, like we were just talking with the previous commissioner's question, a portion of the students are in dual language and a portion of them are not. In some schools, for example, I won't name any right now, but some of them, it's the Strand program with the dual language is actually mostly English language learners. So it just depends on the different models that you put into place. I think it depends on the models that we're suggesting for wards 7 and 8. I don't think right now there is a English language learner population. It is still somewhat modest, although it has been growing. And so we just need to make sure that we would serve both needs. And so that's why we want to talk to families.
Would you like to take this final question, Commissioners?
One final question, yes.
Okay. Where did the number of 50 to 75 kids per language per grade come from?
I love these questions. These are great questions. That came from really talking to experts, both DCPS Central Office and District of Columbia International School, or DCI, about the model that works for them. And so that's where this came from.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jennifer, for being on with us, and appreciate the update you shared. And if there's anything further that we can share with our listserv and constituency, please feel free to share it over with us.
That'd be great. And if you're able to, commissioners, if you're able to help advertise the poll and any of these remainder focus groups, and if you have any other constituents have any other meetings that you would like DME to attend, I'm willing and able, and I usually come in person. So please let us know.
Wonderful to know. Thank you so much.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. At this time, we will yield the floor to the Chapman Holdings team.
I'd like to share my presentation from my screen. What do they call it?
What's your name so I can make you co-host?
I'm promoting her now.
Okay, never mind.
That would have been easy. That makes them come present for me.
You said you got it?
I promoted her.
Okay.
Can you make her a co-host?
Madam, would you mind projecting your voice so we can pick up everything while you're talking? Thank
Thank you.
A sentence request to share?
I didn't get anything over here. I'll make you the host for now.
I think I've got it now.
Okay, okay.
Yep, there you go.
Is that what was not?
And let Evan Rose, please. Oh, that's our SBOE work.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Robin Young, and I am the Chief Executive Officer of Chapman Holdings. I'd like to thank Commissioner Thompson Wright and Chairman Holcomb for the invitation to present our vision. Please know that we appreciate the opportunity to stand before the community today and present our perspective for the Hill East portion of the RFK campus. Chapman Holdings is a privately owned real estate development company, a certified business enterprise, and a minority woman-owned business. We remain driven by and committed to developments that are hyper-focused on underserved communities around the district. We're hopeful that after today's meeting, we will have a community that is riveted by our plans and our collective vision for a world-class entertainment and hospitality complex that will put the RFK campus at the forefront of the nation's leaderboard when it comes to sports and entertainment. At this time, I'd like to introduce you to our vision team. Along with myself, we have Andre Young, Chief Financial Officer, as well as Justin Young, Chief Operating Officer. So how did we get here? Over the last 5 years, we've engaged with the broader Ward 7 community to determine their needs. We walk with them and talk with them, and after many long lunches and exhausting conversations, we selected issues that were at the top of their list and pondered how we could make this happen. Housing, grocery stores, both full service and specialty, restaurants, dining, workforce development, gainful employment. The Chapman Holdings team decided those things were a major driving force in the inspiration of our vision, and they can and will give tangible, direct benefits to the community. And then the perfect storm happened. The Washington Commanders announced that they were coming back to RFK. We attended the BizNow conference, and great minds began to work. Telephone calls were made, and we developed a dynamic design that would allow us to have the potential of delivering great benefits to the community. However, the numbers didn't work. We needed something that would generate extreme revenue, increase visitor traffic, and attract major investors. A state-of-the-art casino on the banks of the Anacostia River. Eat, play, and stay at RFK. Our design team, Rebecca Mizikar and Vinay Ganeshan, will show you what our design looks like now.
Thank you, Robin. Again, my name is Rebecca Mizikar. I'm a landscape architect and land planner with the firm PVEDI. I've been working with Robin and Andre for about 10 years in various community projects, development projects, rezoning, and I'm joined by my colleague, Vinay Ganeshan, who is an architect, has been working in DC for his entire career, and he'll show you some of his experience. Also on our team, we're led by Andre Landon, who's a licensed DC architect and principal, and Michael Keller, who is our design lead for the project. So Vinay, if you wanna
Sure.
tell us a few things about your DC experience.
So just to give you guys a little summary, I've been in the DC area for the past 25 years, went to Howard University. Most of the projects that I worked on, I think some of them are pretty, local here. For example, the Modera at 17th Street, that's the one all the way at the bottom. That's about 6 miles from here. It's a Mill Creek project that we developed, and it's got a pretty big affordable component to it. I was also involved in a lot of the preliminary projects that we did at the WARF. It's called Modera at Water Street. That was one of the first projects that started at the WARF before development went all over the place over there. So my experience has been mainly affordable housing and a lot of multifamily residential in DC.
So PBEDI is a national firm. We have offices through the East Coast, out to Texas, and our project types kind of span that gamut that we're looking at today, from different types of multifamily residential to hospitality, commercial, and outdoor placemaking. So our big goals, our opportunities here begin with economic, creating jobs both in the construction of development as well as permanent jobs, increasing the land value here at Achilles Phase 3, opportunities for local entrepreneurs as a part of that as well. And then that economic activity begins to generate opportunities for other amenities to come in, including full service and different types of grocery stores. We have a really cool opportunity here at the waterfront for waterfront access and parks. A variety of neighborhood retail, activating the street grid at the lower level there. And also for community centers such as health wellness clinics. And then finally, an opportunity for a variety of housing types, really getting a lot of housing density in this area. Looking at the site, you're all probably familiar from the earlier phases where we are here in Hill East. And of course, Phase 3 brings us all the way out to the river. We're located along the Massachusetts Avenue, kind of prominent street with its terminus at the water. Some earlier plans showed that as a green circle, calling it Monument Circle. And of course, we're right at the edge of this stadium campus that's developing. And as we understand it, the commanders have included the waterfront park all the way down to that terminus at that yellow dot on the plan at Massachusetts Avenue. And there's no reason why that can't continue all the way south and eventually connect down to the Naval Yard and the other waterfronts that have been redeveloped and really strengthening this entire corridor. We know transportation is a big issue around here, so the more we can rely on public transportation, the less impact vehicles and parking will have on the neighborhoods. So here we have this transportation map recognizing that a pretty large area could be served in about a 20-minute bus ride, metro ride. We spent some time on this site after our last meeting and really looked at the various circulation through here, and pretty cool to see your multimodal streets and bike rentals and everything really being emphasized. So again, this really interesting opportunity for activating the waterfront and utilizing the river for transportation as well. So other areas of the city are served by water taxi. Could this also be served by water taxi right to your site? And also looking at the water for entertainment potential, like the riverboat cruises and tours. Vehicular traffic we know is a challenge when it comes to the surrounding street grid of the neighborhood. We're bordered by 19th Street Southeast, which with its single lane of traffic in a single direction, it's pretty limiting. We also understand that Independence Avenue to the north is about to see some reorganization and losing another lane there. So that really starts to put the emphasis for vehicular traffic, potential to the bridges, concentrating on these roads closer to the riverfront. So for example, Water Street, which borders us on the east, coming down from the RFK Stadium and the bridge area, currently that's just like a pretty narrow asphalt drive, but as it develops into a full street, it can really start to take a volume of traffic from our site. Also Southeast Boulevard, which hugs the waterfront, currently kind of offline with the current condition of the RFK campus. It would function in conjunction with that campus. So as the campus redevelops, really improving that and having that function again, that easy access off of both of the bridges. And then along with that, Southeast Boulevard, as I mentioned, hugs the riverfront. So it currently does separate your site from the water. It's really interesting how close you can be to the water right now and not even realize that it's right there, right? So as we think about it developing again into waterfront access and public accessible park, is there potential to let that waterfront be accessible for pedestrians without crossing a lot of vehicular traffic? So maybe Southeast Boulevard comes to our site and goes under in a tunnel so that it's clean pedestrian access all the way to a waterfront pier. We've developed a plan here that really starts with the existing zoning rules and regulations, which look at this phase 3 area, again, closest to the waterfront, as the most dense from within this area. So we're basically raising up in height from the existing buildings like the Park Kennedy and the Ethel that are about 5 stories, transitioning up to 7 through the middle of the Hill East development. And then here in our phase 3 area, we're able to go all the way up to 10 stories. And they really encourage that level of density and development. We just have one pocket there below the green little square that's within the, they call it the HE2 district, which is 7 stories. Also recognizing the existing plans that emphasize primary street frontages. For us, it would be Massachusetts Avenue and Water Street on the eastern end, and then secondary street frontages. So these are the streets that we really want to emphasize for activation. Looking at potential pedestrian connections through this area, we really want to pay a lot of attention to what's going on at that street level. So there's a lot of activity, a lot of shops and restaurants to draw that activity down, draw people down from Commander Stadium through this area. We have our primary areas at the edges again, Massachusetts and Water Street, but also developing our buildings in such a way that we also have pedestrian alleys and cut-throughs that are really attractive and parking spaces that can kind of interact with both retail as well as residential areas. We want to recognize that this community is largely east of the river. So we know that there are a lot of folks here that will hopefully be shopping in the Hill East redevelopment and might want to walk across that bridge, or might be working as part of that development and would like to commute by walking across a bridge. And right now we have just like bare minimum connectivity as far as the existing sidewalks along those bridges. So how can we, how can a development like this start to spur some of those larger improvements that go beyond its exact borders to improve the lives of the people that are shopping here, that are working here? And, you know, can we start to integrate some basic safety lighting, for example, but even above and beyond with like kind of the arts and interesting lighting that could light this area at night, kind of play off that energy of the Commander's Stadium campus as well. So eat, play, and stay at RFK. These are some of the ideas that we've tried to integrate into the plan. So front and center, I know it might be a little hard to read there on the screen, but we're starting with shopping and entertainment, full service grocery at the top of the list, grocery stores, restaurants that could, you know, draw people in from a larger area, but then also like casual dining options that would appeal to local residents as well. retail boutiques serving both locals and a larger audience, and attractive entertainment pieces like movie theaters, bowling alleys. On the column on the left, the casino complex is envisioned as having a 5-star hotel, a conference center, rooftop bars and pools activating those upper spaces. The waterfront, which is kind of goes beyond our formal property lines onto that federal property, but again, as the commanders are kind of re-envisioning it, I think we can also re-envision our area of that waterfront for waterfront entertainment, perhaps an amphitheater that transitions down to the waterfront, things like an ice skating rink to really kind of bring some activity there year-round. And then on the right-hand column, residential and office, kind of finishing out that plan, a variety of residential options like condominiums, apartments, as well as office. Again, just to really drive that point home, we've heard this loud and clear from talking to folks, and the Youngs have heard this, that full-service grocery is really something that this neighborhood is really prioritizing. So a place that really can offer that butcher selection, the bakery, a place to get your fresh vegetables, as well as laundry detergent, diapers, and that kind of thing. One-stop shop. So where do these big ideas land on the plan? We have a very prominent corner at Massachusetts and Water Street. It has the bubble on it for the casino. So that's where we've located that kind of primary use for the plan. And then we located the full-service grocery in the block that's kind of in line with the Ethel. It's also, near that metro station, so a little bit more of a community and neighborhood-oriented location. These are the buildings that are in play. Just a quick color code to show you what their overall use is on the upper stories. So again, in like the purple-pink color, that would be the casino, casino and entertainment complex. The yellow colors on the riverfront would primarily be office, we envision, in the upper stories. And then the blues would be primarily residential in the upper stories. And some quick numbers there on the side of what densities we think we can achieve. And then this is plan view that goes back to that street level activation. So a really wide variety of things we envision at that street level. The green that's prominent there, kind of in the center, is the corner where we've located the grocery store. The pink bars would be the street level retail, integrating some restaurants and that kind of thing. The dark blue would be walk-up residential. That's the type of residential where you see a front door down at street level, so it's not just that anonymous kind of apartment building. The light blue, civic and community. The yellow is a theater complex there on the edge, kind of facing the stadium campus and its entertainment theme. The darker purple would be the retail restaurant side of the casino block, and then casino and gaming in the remainder of that block, but still wrapped with street level retail. So even where you have the casino floor, which you normally think of as kind of a closed windowless space, you have that activation at the street. So here we have our first rendering of the proposed design, and I'll turn it over to Vinay. Sure.
So again, I think, this, the casino is part of the centerpiece of the development to some extent, because you've got RFK in one corner, you've got the amphitheater on the water, and this building is going to sort of anchor the entire project. And again, this is one of our interpretations of what a casino could be, but it also kind of highlights some of the concepts I think Rebecca was talking about. In the street level, it's always going to be retail, restaurants, and other sort of activities that are not, closed after 6 o'clock or whatever, where everything gets deserted. The casino also works as a focal point to bring people to the water. So if anything does happen with the waterfront development, we've got everything there to kind of spur anything that goes down. The casino is also part of an entertainment and a hotel complex. Hotels also, I think the last time we discussed it, there really aren't any hotels in this area at all. So this would be something that would be, a good addition to the community. And then obviously the casino also links everything back to the river, and everything that is being planned along the river as part of the river. So again, these are the two office buildings that we showed earlier. These flank the river, and again, these are again going to be office buildings. But typically, when you get office buildings, and they close at night. Everybody goes to where it's dark. So what we're proposing is typically almost every single building, either 2 or 3 stories at the bottom. You're either going to have retail, grocery stores, theaters, or when we look at the other buildings, we'll have walk-up units, which is essentially, a process where, they essentially become condos where, you can also promote home ownership for those, areas. Again, this is our representation of 2 of those office buildings. And then the residential is the one I think, we always get excited about because I've actually done, I think, 4 or 5 projects in pretty much, within a 10-mile radius. And it's amazing the need that's there for housing, right? And so what we're actually proposing is, obviously, because of the zoning, we do have to design apartments, but we're kind of managing that. What happens is grocery stores at the corners.
Can you speak up louder?
Sure. There's going to be a lot of grocery stores at the corners. You can also see some representation of the walk-up units that we're proposing. You can think of some of these pedestrian alleys as sort of a city center concept, where you can kind of walk through these restaurants and retail at the lower level. And the goal always is to get people to come to RFK and not just leave, but to kind of walk through these areas, get to the amphitheater at the end, so that ultimately this development is creating jobs, opportunities, and just economic benefit for the community.
When y'all decide to ask you questions, let me ask.
When you do that, yeah, they
Not say when y'all do.
We will.
We can jump in with questions at this particular point, and then we're gonna come back to what we call the community wins. But I need to add a little bit to this. Let me tell you a little bit about Chapman Properties. Chapman Holdings. Chapman Holdings has been in this business for over 4 decades. We've built stores and retail businesses in airports across the country, over 13 to 14 in the Pittsburgh Airport, Philadelphia Airport, and other partnerships in airports. I am the Chief Financial Officer of Chapman Holdings. My job is extremely difficult because what I have to do is I have to find the money in order to make this project work. When we first put this project together, let you eavesdrop into some of the team meetings. I'll tell you how the team meetings went. The team meetings went, we have this project, we have a community. We talk to the commissioners in that particular area, and this community needs a grocery store. It is a food desert. We want to bring a grocery store to this particular community. This community needs dining. They have 1 restaurant. We need to bring restaurants to this particular community. We need to make a lot of these things work. So how do we do it? Can we do it with just restaurants? No. Can we do it with just grocery stores? Do grocery stores need more? This community had 1 grocery store come and they rejected you. They rejected you because there was not enough synergy. Synergy in order to make a grocery store work. So we went out and said, how do we bring this synergy? One of the ways that we bring this synergy is we capitalize on the Washington Commanders deal when they came back. They're entertaining you in 7F. We said, okay, let's do a casino that will bring about some entertainment, and it will also bring about revenue, and it will also bring about enough money for us to give back to this community that we care about. The whole thing is, Rebecca, go back to vision, the vision. The whole thing is we talked about Hill East and focused on Hill East and we focused on 7th. We talked to each and every one of you. All these commissioners that are here, majority of them, we talked to them.
No,
There's
you
a
ain't
couple
talking to
that,
me.
there's a couple that we might have missed, but we talked to most of them. Or somebody from our group talked to you, okay? So we heard you. We watched social media. We watched social media. We heard you on social media. We watched the news. And we watched what was going on in the Washington, D.C. area and also Hill East and also 7th, the broader Ward 7. Now, when we put this together, we said, this is what's gonna make it work. Now, I have to walk out of here, and I have to take this plan. I know they gave you the plan, and they told you about zoning, and they told you about where the building's gonna be, and they met the zones and everything else. How do we put this together and bring something back to you? Okay? Now we're at the stage where we're talking about the community wins, and let's have Justin Young give you the community wins.
Can I ask, while you're doing this, what is the ask? Are you asking us to approve a zoning for a Kabuki Casino?
We're gonna get there.
I mean, because I was wondering too, because of the time.
Yeah, we're stretched on time.
Okay, so
We're stretched on time.
Okay.
we can just go to.
Let's go to community wins.
We can go to the apps. Okay, we'll just.
Robin, can you do the community wins? It's important to do the community wins.
We're on time.
Okay, stretch on time. Let's
So
go
if there's a
to
way to tie the two in, do that, but we're running up on time.
Not really, but we just, first of all, we want to thank you all for inviting us, for having us here. And at this point, we humbly and respectfully ask the commissioners of AFC 7F to vote on 1, a resolution to City Council that includes gaming legislation, and 2, a letter of intent to transfer site control. So again, we thank you for your time. We thank you for inviting us here. And if there are any questions, we'll be more than happy to take them.
Good. All right, so we're going to do our very best to be succinct with answering questions. There are a number of questions that we see, there are a number of questions that we see in the chat. We want to be able to get to as many of the questions as possible. So let's see if we can, how about let's do this process. Let's provide the questions that are in the chat to the team. You all work to capture the questions, write out your responses so we can do the folks in person. And then at the end, we'll come to the folks, to those questions, to answer those online questions. So if you're online and you have questions, please place them in the chat. We're going to capture them, provide them to the team, they'll answer the questions so we can prioritize the folks that are here in person, and then we'll have them answer all of the questions that are being asked via the chat. All right? That said, I'm going to ask everybody who is asking a question to maintain your question to 60 seconds. We are timing folks tonight, so after 60 seconds, we will ask you to conclude. All right, so community members, I saw State Board Member Ebony Rose Thompson-Haynes go up first, then we'll go Ms. B, and then Commissioner Stanley.
I have 2 questions. First, you referenced the zoning. What exactly is the zoning for the site? Are we talking MU11? Are we talking MU10? Like, what is the current zoning for the site? Are you asking for any upzoning? And then these 2 requests that you have, as far as gaming legislation and site control, could you actually say more about what you are asking and the timeline for those requests? So really 3 questions. What is the zoning for the site? in code? And you should be able to answer
Yeah,
that.
sure, yes.
What is the timeline for this project and the corresponding ask to the commission? And then I had a third question. Those are the two most important questions. Yes.
So, I mean, the zoning question is pretty simple.
And if you could actually further explain the two asks you have. Yes.
Yeah, the zoning question is pretty simple. Everything in the village is zone HE. So I think we had a slide that showed the two zones, which is HE2 and HE3.
HE2 and HE3.
HE2 and HE3, yeah.
All the way up to the waterfront?
Yes, yep.
Okay.
So, yeah, you can see that there. So it's basically HE2, HE3s, and then moving away from our site, you get the HE1s. It's basically village 1, village 2, that's just one category.
And then the timeline for the site, the request, and could you elaborate more on the asks you have before the commission?
The timeline would be whatever length of time that it takes city council to pass the zoning, the legislation. We're asking for the legislation. And so whatever length of time that it would take the councilman to draft the legislation and to pass that legislation, I think it may take up to 9 months or 6 months. And the legislation we would ask for would be a special legislation in order to move it along quickly so we can begin the development and put it in line with the completion of the new stadium.
So legislation has not been proposed. You are asking the commission to essentially say to, I'm assuming you're talking about Councilmember Felder specifically for Ward 7?
We have spoken to Councilmember Felder's office.
So the ask is for them to say, hey, you should propose legislation that will make this project viable.
We would make a request that he propose legislation that would make this a process.
The commission would support a request to, but there's nothing proposed, like there's no legislation currently in front of the council?
No.
Okay.
And we're asking the commission to support the request.
Understood.
Respectfully asking the commission to support the request.
Thank you. Ms. B?
I basically want to ask, you said, this is the first time hearing about the casino, and you're saying the community wins. Can you give some examples? You talked about revenue. Can you explain a little bit more, give some examples, how we gonna win as the community, and what kind of revenue that we'll be getting back? Just to give a couple examples.
Well, to begin with, there would be a Ward 7 community benefit agreement that would entail workforce development partnerships, funding to mitigate the social impacts of gambling that come with the casino, of course, youth and adult educational programming, advertising about gambling and addiction, and then the maintenance and beautification of the community as well. There will be a 2.5% of all adjusted gross receipts from the operating licensee will go to a local nonprofit. We partner with a local foundation focused on social equity and disenfranchised communities as well. And there's more too. We also, a labor peace agreement and a project labor agreement as well. So looking forward to creating over 5,000 jobs and also another 5,000 construction jobs if possible. And a commitment to partner with local nonprofits to build housing as well.
Get to the money. Get to the money.
10 million to the gaming board for the community outreach and harm to mitigate, or the harm mitigation. And the owners will work with the DC Office of the Mayor, the Council of the District of Columbia, ANC 7F, and Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority to extend better transit services throughout the resident, or to the residents and throughout Ward 7.
Go ahead, if you want money.
Go ahead, you want
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
So in addition to that, we will select 4 local nonprofit organizations to be part of a revenue sharing agreement. There'll be a substantial investment in Kingman Park by the gaming licensees, 10% tax revenue, and a municipal bond measure. So those are the community wins.
Now, the reason.
I'm sorry, Mr. Young, that was it. Commissioner Stamper, and then there.
Go ahead.
So, quick question. I love the fact that y'all are trying to bring a grocery store slightly closer to our community, even though it's kind of still across the river. For both the casino and the grocery store, if that were to come, what is parking gonna be like? We don't have that pedestrian access, so it's not like I could just ride my bike across East Capitol. So both to take advantage of these casinos, much like MGM, right, the parking is free, and I remember that there was they tried to pull a bait and switch on the community by saying parking would be free, then taking it away, and then the community had an outrage. I'd rather avoid that and get some kind of assurance that, like, for us to be able to access those amenities that you were saying are coming to our community, that we also don't have to now drive and pay to park for something that is in our neighborhood.
Yeah, I think, from a design standpoint, all the parking is gonna be provided below the buildings. I think, once we get into a little bit more of the design process, it'll be either 2 levels of parking below, because obviously, as you know, we are not allowed or banned actually by the zone to provide any kind of surface parking. So pretty much all the parking would be beneath, the buildings.
And will there be some kind of understanding for like people who are going to the grocery store, going to the casino, that they wouldn't then also have to pay to use those, to park in those places?
I would think so, yes, absolutely.
Commissioner Stanford.
Question. So, you guys said you want to put a skating rink. Are you considering partnering with the Olympic Committee here in DC, partnering with DCIA, having like football fields, rugby fields, wrestling facilities, field hockey, lacrosse? Will that be those amenities, those non-traditional sports that is not necessarily offered east of the river? Is that something that you potentially are looking into? There's some world-class skaters here in Ward 7. I met a guy that has a silver medal around his neck that he won from ice skating, and he used to skate at Fort DuPont Skate Arena. Is there any?
Well, there is, we do have a plan in place to include an ice skating rink. And there are going to be opportunities for non-traditional sports activities as well. So in answer to your question, yes, there will be.
Thank
you. Seeing no questions further in person before we get to commissioners, can we capture all of the questions that have been submitted and read them out for the team?
So, how will you demonstrate equity through your housing and grocery developments to the Black community in DC? How will you make jobs realistically attainable to the Black and Brown community occupying these spaces? Are you aware of the population and their income to make these developments accessible to all?
Is that all one question?
That was one question.
Okay, can you give the first question?
Sure. How will you demonstrate equity through your housing and grocery developments to the Black community in DC?
I don't really understand the
Affordable grocery.
I'm sorry, pardon me?
Affordable grocery.
Will you be helping? So right now, there's legislation, at least the money was taken out of the budget to help Black farmers here in DC. Dreaming Out Loud, they're an organization here in DC that has opened a few smaller kind of boutique retail grocery stores. They want to open on Maryberry Avenue. It's pretty small, probably big as this building, but it's a grocery store, it's food, it's like a food. You come eat at the counter, they have sitting space, and it's a grocery store. Will you be partnering with people like Dreaming Out Loud, putting like Produce Plus money into those like healthy corners, things of that?
we will definitely look at local businesses and offer them an opportunity to be a part. So yes, the answer to that question is definitely yes.
Okay, the second out of 3 is how will you make jobs realistically attainable to the Black and brown community occupying these spaces?
Well, one of the things that we plan on doing is we plan on having trainings. We plan on working, partnering with Go ahead.
We plan on putting workforce development programs together, working with the existing trade schools that are existing. We're going to bring 5,000 jobs in the building. We need to have building trades, work with the building trades, work with workforce development companies, invest in workforce development companies that will train, teach the craft to our young Black people. When you invest in them, you form foundations and give them financial resource. You can then bring those African American people and Black people and increase it. And also, we're going to try to meet the benchmark that the mayor has, where 51% of Washington, D.C. residents are on these jobs.
All right, and then lastly, are you aware of the population and their income to make these developments accessible to all?
Yes, we are. It would take too long for us to explain it, but yes, we are.
Okay. Questions that came in prior to 7:55 with the chat? No?
Direct questions that are to you. You should see 2 direct questions.
Okay. So we have, what enforcement mechanisms are in place if you fail to meet the commitments in the CBA?
Okay. What we want to do is we want to make the community benefit agreement a part of the legislation. In the past, you have had community benefits agreements and the developers have reneged. When you make it a part of the legislation, it now gives 7F the teeth in order to enforce those community benefit agreements. If they promise that they're gonna put 10,000, 10 million, 10, 20 million in, if it's a part of the legislation, then it gives you, in this particular community, the teeth in order to make them obey the law. That is the problem with community benefit agreements that have been done in the past, and these developers have reneged. When you have Chapman Holdings in control, then we put it in a part of the legislation, and then we make sure that it happens for you. We're a community first organization. We want to make sure that people do not come in this particular community, develop things, and make things big and beautiful, and you're not a part. You have to be a part. It's your community. This is a beautiful community, and we need to make it a part. This is the most important thing, this legislation. This is why we're asking for it, and this is why you're asking for the benefit agreement.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, part 2. Who is responsible for monitoring compliance with the CBA, and how often will reporting occur?
If it's a part of the law will be a part of it, and also Chapman Holdings.
Okay, and to close, how will trails, natural areas, and waterfronts be preserved? And what is the size of the natural areas? Or what portion?
The formal site doesn't have much open space beyond streetscape. So when we were talking about waterfront area, a lot of that is within the federal property along the waterfront. So there's probably a few acres. There's a space directly in front of the casino where the waterfront strip's a little more narrow, where we were in our plans proposing an amphitheater. And just north of that, before you get to the DC Squirrel water treatment facility, there's a wider area that previous plans were calling out as the meadow. So you get like a little bit more acreage there to have more of a park-like space. Again, it's not within our control, but I think this project could have a lot of influence within the larger district in deciding how that develops, what it looks like, and perhaps also funding it.
Thank you.
Okay. We will allow commissioners 3 minutes for questions. Commissioner Orndorff, you're virtual, so we'll start with you first. You and Commissioner Cunningham, if you have questions or things that you'd like to bring to the floor. You're on mute.
No question.
Okay. Commissioner Cunningham?
He came off of mute for 1 second, and he went back on mute and turned his camera off. I asked one.
Commissioner Cunningham? Not sure if you have a specific question for our presenters. All right, Commissioner Cunningham, whenever you come off mute, we'll yield to you. All right. Commissioner Nelson?
Yeah, thank you so much for coming tonight and presenting to us. It sounds like a very dynamic space that you're trying to create. I have some concerns with good reason. The average, what I looked at when you were all speaking, you mentioned that you looked at how to come up with a casino and how to generate the money, right? That the average, the individual income of that area, which you said you knew, is around somewhere between $40,000 to $50,000 on an individual level, right? So pulling money from individuals to fund a casino is not, in my opinion, the way to go about funding a casino from a low-income community. That's my concern right there for one of those, for that part. The other part that I'm having concerns about is the wins. I'm not quite sure, I'm convinced that it's a win to have a casino in this space. I do think it's a win to have a grocery store. I do think it's a win to have more development that caters to the actual community. Casino is not one of them. On top of that, you mentioned housing and condos. With the medium income that I mentioned, how would anybody afford that, right? It's not really accessible to the community that it serves. And so I don't know if this model is particularly something of interest for me personally and the people that I know that live around it. I know that the zip code 2002, I looked up some zip codes, there is one that's a higher, income level, but that also extends further west, right? Which is a different demographic, right? And so with that being said, I do appreciate the intention to try to create a space for the community and to invest in it. I don't know if I agree with the answer. I'll stop there.
Anybody else have any questions?
We're still going. Do you want to, would you like to address?
You can,
yeah. You said, let me see if I understand this correctly. You said the community would be funding the casino?
Yes, I did. I said that the median income in the area is around 50-something thousand, right? Which means that they really shouldn't, in my opinion, putting that type of commercial space in a space that already is riddled with other issues, I don't know if that is the most logical thing to do. Right, if it serves the need. A grocery store is something we've advocated for. I have not heard community members say, we need a casino. I've heard us say we need grocery stores, we need restaurants, we need more commercial spaces that actually service the needs of our day-to-day, necessities, but a casino hasn't been on the list.
With the casino comes many jobs.
The average income for a
$18
casino,
an hour and 38,000, so yeah, they making roughly a couple of little thousand more than me as a teacher, but it ain't that much. Minimum wage here is $17.95.
are you going to legislate, like the salaries for the people who work at the casino to be higher than the national average?
We have the job,
Put up national
we
average.
have the job average of jobs.
Point of information, is it possible for you all to provide the comparison to what, say, the MGM pays?
It's on the board.
Is this MGM or is this national? Okay, I'm specifically speaking to MGM. And the reason I'm specifically speaking to MGM is because, one, it's an example that's close to the community, but then also, two, we know that there are a number of folks who have worked at that site that have benefited from that site in terms of career opportunities. So that's more aligned than looking at a national average.
And my ex still work there, he ain't making too much money.
But the other point that you made, people that go to a casino will come in from outside.
That's not guaranteed.
And if you look at Prince George County, majority of the people don't live in Prince George County. They come in from outside. The people that play football are going to come in and go to football games. Are going to come in from outside and around the district. The people that live in that particular community don't play football.
Okay, so you mentioned public transportation and how that there will be 2 levels of parking. So
Now that's a big problem.
you're working on an assumption that people will most likely use public transportation, which most likely would be people who live within this space. So if you're saying that people are coming from outside to patronize a casino, then you're definitely gonna have a parking issue, if that is what you're banking on. But if you're banking on public transportation, that is gonna be this community. Because public transportation doesn't extend out that way.
You're right.
So y'all partner with WMATA and getting us an extra station, and it sound like.
Right. Commissioner Ruff?
I was gonna ask some questions, but I'm gonna take my questions later. What I am gonna say is, Stacey, am I pressed for a casino? No, it's not a necessity that I need in the 7F community, especially when I got crackheads on the corner, K2 addicts, mental health illness, and homelessness. I got 24-hour tobacco stores popping up in my SMD. And I'm not saying that sometimes I don't patronize them, but maybe shit, that's the only thing that's there. So that leads me to the grocery store aspect. I've been advocating for grocery stores since 2020. Loud and proud, down in council with legislation, everything, before anybody hopped on the bandwagon.
That's not true.
What I'm saying is, outside of our commission, give me my moment. I ain't talking about y'all. I ain't talking about you. Don't do me like that. Because we have business things, we know you involved, we know you don't want Safeway, everything. But my issue is that even talking to some of my colleagues, they're not against the casino. I like to go to the casino, but as I told you earlier, my grandmother is deceased now. That was my buddy, my road dog, to go to MGM. On my birthday, everything. I'm the 10th, she the 19th of April, so we would share that moment. My son has even went with us on a trip and walked through O'Hara's and stuff, getting to the other outlets, and he enjoyed the experience. So I'm not totally against it. But what I do want to say is that I want to see them grocery stores pop up. I want to see the shopping aspects pop up first, before that casino comes. Everybody has came here and lied to us and told us, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to get you great jobs. We still got messed up with no grease on that RFK. So to see black people that look like me sitting in here, and definitely look like me, because I got a couple little bags too. So, I get it, you know what I'm saying? I want you all to work with the community. I want for my community to have these jobs. But I also don't want to give you my yes right now, and then we don't get what we ask for in the community. But we're giving you everything that you're asking for up front. So it's kind of like, to me, a bargain. if y'all can put them grocery stores here, I'm with it. And then the other thing that I was gonna say about the grocery stores is that we have, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Rosie's grocery store, but they have been trying to get these slots for grocery stores here. Went to Councilman Felder's office, everything, but then we don't have the funding here as well, especially with the federal, issues going on. So I would definitely like to see you guys partner with them and bring them here, because they work with Ward 7 and 8, and it's basically a co-op. So you know what that means, that the people that work there, they're selling their own produce, they're making the way. So it's not just like, oh, everybody go down here and go be a casino or a factory worker or a construction worker. People be out here growing their own vegetables, getting land grants and all of that. You know, I just want to make sure that we are enlightening the neighborhood and letting them know that these aren't the only options here, but also too, we want to see y'all hold those promises. And if y'all can bring those grocery stores, then you can get my yes. That's not a problem. I want to see a couple of places with, you know, where I'm able to buy clothes. I ain't gotta go across the white side of town to go shop. And, okay, one last thing though. I was getting ready to, you just threw me off, because I was getting ready to tell, the dad something. He had brought up something about, parts of economic, restaurants. We do have more than one restaurant. You just see that one down there.
Yeah,
We got 2 across the river.
Okay.
Over there where y'all getting ready to build, Duffy's and Southside, all that belongs to Commissioner Wright Thompson as well.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, because I missed.
Oh, yeah, then, so actually we got 3.
Denny.
Four. And this is a staple in the community, so I would like to see y'all partner with them as well. But, yeah.
All right, Commissioner Edwards?
You got my head, after I see the grocery store.
All right, yeah, Commissioner Thompson, right?
I just have, really quick. I thank you all for coming out and presenting and everything. What I would like to say is, I heard you all talk about, the housing piece. Is there any makeup in some sort of workforce housing? Because we do want to incorporate, average persons coming in, making not $50,000, but maybe $80,000 to $90,000, and being able to potentially get into a condo or some sort of affordability piece there. And then secondly, can you talk just a little bit more about your legislation and what you're planning to put in?
I would take that.
The legislation. Just make really quick bullet points, because I need for the community to know, you know, how invested you are in it and what you really are committing as African Americans coming into this and asking for us to give you a big chunk of our community. Just a couple big bullet points on it. Talk about maybe the, how you're implementing the legislation for what percentage of employment, also as well as the CBE opportunities for persons there, and then, I had about 10 things here, I'm trying to break it down. And then about the piece where, Ward 7F specific gets the higher point in your legislation.
I'm sorry, what did you
7F gets the upper hands in your, that we have a specific number that's going to be coming through, like 35%, 40%, 20% of getting jobs, or, in the.
51% of all employees will have to be DC residents, and that's in the legislation.
Okay, and you're writing, that's what you're writing in, correct?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
okay.
That's gonna be mandated of all developers, all contractors, and subcontractors.
Okay.
Because sometimes what happens is, they'll get a job and they'll subcontract it out and say, oh, we don't have any. They're gonna be forced to. And one of the things that we plan to do is with our workforce development team is to train people in the community that want these jobs.
Okay.
Train them before the jobs actually come.
Okay.
We'll work with some local DC, the building trades here. We'll work with other community groups to find people that want the jobs. We'll train them, and then all of that is written in the legislation.
Okay.
I mean,
I got no pages of it, and we're gonna skip past that, Robin. One more, another thing. Grocery store, we keep saying grocery stores, they're grocery stores we're talking about. So taking one also, so we don't have to ride a bike into the casino area, whatever. One coming down maybe East Capitol Street, maybe into the C area.
7E2.
7E2,
Capitol
down
Gateway.
there, Capitol Gateway toward that end.
Okay, see, you're asking us to do certain things, but when you find the millions
It's
and
coming from
billions of
casino,
dollars to do this plan has to make sense.
It has to make sense.
It has to make sense. And what it doesn't do, it doesn't make sense just to put a grocery store. Because I'm not the smartest guy in the world. If it would have made sense just to put a grocery store, somebody else would have done it before us.
Correct.
Okay?
No, they messed up all the deals with the grocery stores. Let's
If
be
it
honest.
would have made sense, it has to, whenever you go and get an investor, this plan has to make sense. This vision has to make sense. And we have to make it make sense. What we presented to you tonight made sense.
Yeah, it does.
And we have investors that are interested in it because it makes sense.
Correct. I totally understand. It's just not just about the grocery store. When I'm saying grocery store, I mean the grocery store as a little anchor, maybe a strip mall, floor specialty stores that are coming across that way. Not just groceries, but other things that we need that are viable in the neighborhood as well. I'm putting that full circle. But I'm saying grocery because I know usually when there's a grocery store around there next to a CVS, somebody might got a little chain restaurant around here. So that whole portion is something that we're looking into.
We also want to make it available to local entrepreneurs.
Correct.
Okay? Local entrepreneurs that are already, I mean, we've given you some great examples. Dream Out Loud, and you've already given us some great examples. We can partner with them, and they can be on, because remember, we're talking about 2-3 levels on the ground of stores. That's a lot of space to fill.
I don't want my grocery store to be, I won't finish yet, no. Oh, and then the next thing I wanted to add is that, the opportunities for returning citizens, because you know we are marketing this thing around a prison. It will be revamped and redone, and then we have to also think about when they walk out the door, is there opportunity or just looking out the window into coming home to the abyss? Is there any opportunity? I know you all have started something in your hometown, and I know you have grassrooted certain aspects. I've Googled that portions about you and things that you've started, but I want to know, do you have any plans here to maybe partner up with some people to get some groundwork with maybe some citizens that are incarcerated?
Well, yeah, and one of our other businesses, I don't know if you talk specifically about that, Chapman Properties. That's what we do. We hire people that have come out of the prison system because they have a hard time finding jobs. But when they work at Chapman Properties, they're learning a trade. They're learning how to run zero turns. They're learning how to, go ahead, Andre, you speak to that.
They're learning how to build houses. They're learning how to make the community better. And there's a lot in it. But we put together foundations, and that's what we want to do here. We want to generate enough revenue where we can put together foundations. And when we're talking about putting together foundations, we're not talking about a little bit of money. We're talking about 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, 30, $100 million over a period of time. We're not talking about a little bit of money. But see, here's what has to happen. Be real with you. The plan has to make sense. And then, here's the other thing. What comes first? We have to be able to, we can't just put a grocery store in and say, okay, we delivered the grocery store, now what about the other part of it?
Correct.
Sure.
It has to work.
I'm sorry, I gotta stop you there.
Yeah.
All right, before we go into commission business, I have some questions.
Go ahead.
All right.
Quick thing, so we have, does anybody know how many farms we have in Ward 7? I know there's a farm at, Eastern High School, there's a farm, Letterer Farm, there's East Capitol Farm, there's Kelly Miller Farm.
There used to be one on the side of the ice skating rink.
Yes,
And there's also one behind it, they do the gardening for.
The one is still
Right
there by
National-
the, ice skate rink, Nationals took control of.
National, yeah, they do it there too.
So, my quick suggestion, maybe putting more money into our farmers. So, yeah, we can have these grocery stores, but how we gonna stock the produce? How we gonna make sure we have things from the community? Just a suggestion, maybe put some legislation into that gaming legislation about funding the farms that are already here. And maybe adding another one, that's it.
Not a bad idea.
Thank you, all right, I have some yes or no questions. Does your proposed legislation separate the deed for the land and the casino gaming license?
Yes.
Okay. In the casino gaming license then, would there also be included riverboat licenses?
We would make the request for riverboat license, yes.
Okay. In that event, would there need to be discussions with other jurisdictions for licensure, or would the idea be that once you hit the DC portion, you'd be able to then engage in activity from a gaming perspective?
Well,
real brief answer. I don't need long drawn.
No.
Okay. The particular ground, I know we've already talked about where the zoning dynamic is. Is the ground there, is it shovel ready? And when I say shovel ready, I mean, would the city have to put any money in from an infrastructure perspective?
Yes.
Do you know what that amount would be?
No. There's several things that we haven't done.
I understand. There are questions that I'm asking, and certainly I think there's a deeper conversation that would come beyond today with some of the powers that be. I'm working on limited time here. We've already talked about the dynamic around reentry. We talked about your dynamic around housing. I had some questions there. Would you all commit to dedicating a number of units on your housing portion to reentry residents?
Absolutely.
Have you all identified funding sources as it relates to being able to do the development, the full scope of the development, not just the casino?
Yes.
In terms of the development itself, it sounds like between the housing dynamic, some of the other amenity components, it sounds like this would be more of a phased development approach you all would have. Is that correct?
Yes.
So everything wouldn't come online at the exact same time?
It would be phased.
It would be phased. Okay. Is it safe to say that if it is phased, is it safe to say that the casino would be built first? Or is there the thought process that there will be some kind of simultaneous build being done at the same time the casino is?
Simultaneous, yes.
We talked about funding sources. Are you aware that the land there is a part of the federal, it qualifies as a federal, I can't read my own notes. A qualifying census tract.
Qualifying census tract.
QCT. Are you aware it's a qualified census tract? So similar to what the city was able to do with the redevelopment of the wharf and attaining federal dollars to support the build out.
We plan on approaching every funding source that we could possibly approach.
Understood.
As we move forward.
Thank you.
For example,
Thank you.
Thank you. My last question. Best case scenario, you get your deed at the land, casino gaming is separate, and you still have the land. In the event that there is no casino, have you developed what a plan would look like?
Yes.
Right. With that, I yield. At this time, we will enter into commission business. I will yield the floor to Commissioner
Can I
Thompson
ask a
Wright.
question to the commission?
Everybody else got to speak, we might as well let her go.
Well, I asked questions, so I have a question for the commission. Have you all, has DMPED awarded the site already?
That's what they're asking for, a letter of support to get, because it's been awarded already to Scotty and the other guy, the parcels. The last parcel that's left, that's what that's what they said they were asking for today.
DMPED awarded you all the site?
No, they have to get they're asking for the
Have you all
support.
talked with all 4 of the development teams?
Yes.
Okay.
The other three.
Are the other 3 coming to present to the commission?
They have already done so.
I think she's asking, are they gonna come in together?
You mean Evans and Scotty and them, the ones who are already awarded the R? Who you talking about?
No, I'm saying, so there were 4 development teams that submitted a proposal to DMPED for phase 3.
No.
I'm reading that there were 4, I'm reading that 3?
3.
Okay, multiple development teams, but at some point there were 4, maybe there are 3 now.
I think it may have been for a different phase.
That was for a different phase.
That was for a different phase.
So Scotty and them have a parcel.
Right.
And then Evans has a parcel. That's Frontier, right? And then,
No, that's phase 2.
that's phase 2,
That's
right?
phase 2.
So has phase 3 been awarded by DMPED?
No.
No.
Have you all talked to anyone else that is seeking an award from DMPED?
Nobody else has came to
Nobody
us
has
with
come
that.
to us.
No one else has come to you all?
No.
So you all don't know if anyone else is in conversation with DMPED?
I don't.
No.
DMPED would have sent them to us. They would have said, you have to come to the commission, because you know you have to award the site, correct? Somebody has to give a letter of support to DMPED for the site. It doesn't just go to the person.
No, not always. Sometimes DMPED will consider proposals.
I don't think they doing that, because it didn't work like, that's not what they saying, we didn't send anybody else to.
They'll consider proposals and what else?
Sometimes DMPED will be considering several proposals. They will make an award, and then they will come to the commission and say, this is who we have selected. And then there will be discussions with the commissions. That does happen at times. And so I'm just asking
It didn't happen on
if you all have talked with DMPED at all to see if there are other proposals on the table.
As of today, to my knowledge, no.
Nobody even come forward with it.
But you all have not asked that question to DMPED.
I have explicitly asked them that.
And they said no, it's only
That was-
one.
Nobody else is.
Nobody is engaged in bed beyond this particular team, from what I understand.
Not one person. Okay. Go ahead, we're going to.
All right, this time we'll enter into commission business. I will yield the floor to Commissioner Thompson Wright.
So I'm really quick and brief about the, I have been to a couple of the RFK Stadium, meetings. I have seen what they're proposing to be at the stadium, and I had concerns about how the tie-in will work, across the street, because the stadium is in 7D, it's not actually in 7F. And, in conversations, I had a conversation with you, I had a couple conversations with a couple colleagues, we talked at our last executive meeting, we had a couple back and forth in reference to the project. I just would like to say that, where I am not a gambler myself, I believe that the casino will bring the revenue that is needed to fund the projects that are surrounding. I am really happy to see entertainment come, and I know one of my colleagues is really probably ecstatic that he doesn't have to go a million miles around to hear music or be entertained or potentially bring his band and play at some point. I'm glad that you all kind of incorporated multifaceted things into this area with this particular proposal. I would like to, you know, really see more about the traffic. But I know that takes you really getting in, you know, to have this money. And I know that this is, like, you explained, Ms. Robin, you are a minority business owner, a woman, African American, standing up, and I really applaud you on this endeavor, and I am wishing you well on this endeavor, that because we haven't had many people come into the neighborhood with a large plan, African Americans looking like us, talking like us, and walking like us, in a very long time. With that said, I just look forward to seeing that the things that you all are laying out are coming to fruition, because our neighborhood is very dense at this particular moment, and it does need some brightness. Whether it's a grocer, a CVS, an entertainment venue, a bike route. I know a gentleman here in the neighborhood, I know he used to walk his dog all the time, and it was down a walkway. Maybe it can look like a walkway that looks like the bridge going to National Harbor. So in that, you know, I welcome, you know, you all's proposal to come here. And I just wanted to thank you for your time, and I'd like to thank that all of the little amenities that we were asking and providing, that you all were trying to make it. I know that 100% everything will not fall into place, but I know that there is some genuine sincereness into the things that you have for senior projects. I know them because y'all know I spoke very highly about the seniors here over here, because we have 3, 4, 5 senior homes here. And 7, it's 7 of them actually. One, a new one you're ready to build, you know. So, you know, and then there's equity and overall genuine generational wealth for the people here over in 7. I know a lot of people have their doubts because it first says casino. You say casino, is like, oh God. But I work in a space where the casino is generating the money for the neighborhood. They actually just paid $5 million worth of rent for seniors only specific in the area because of that. So I just like to say that where there is a drawback on some things, there are a lot of benefits. And generational wealth, community vibrance, and overall walkability for me is good. So I wish you all well on this vote tonight.
Very well said.
Is there a motion present?
So tonight, I motion that we support the site being awarded a letter of support for the site to DMPEG for the site being awarded. What would you consider this to be, parcel 3 or?
There's the.
HE2, HE3?
Yeah, it's like certain ones, D, I, J.
It's H, I think, HE2. What is your, it's, sorry, my apologies.
D, I, J, M.
D, I, J, and M being awarded to the Chapman Holdings. Yeah. I'm making the first one first. So on
Site control?
the site, yeah.
Okay.
Site control.
To transfer
Yeah.
site control.
That's what I was just talking about. That's why they said what was the name of the site. So you didn't let me finish. Next, the next, do you want to vote on one at a time, or what do you want to do?
Let's vote on one at a time.
Okay.
All right, so motion has been made by Commissioner Thompson Wright. Is there a second to her motion?
I second.
Come on, that's your second.
Who was the second?
Hughes.
Hughes, Commissioner Hughes, second. All right, discussion. Is it stronger to do a letter or resolution? Because the council has to make legislation. We
Yes.
want the council to make legislation.
So I'm assuming that the resolution would be the stronger point,
So I offer an amendment.
that there be a friendly amendment, that there be, strike the letter and write in a resolution.
So we're writing a resolution to have the council do emergency legislation to award Chapman Holdings parcels
See, what is it?
D, I, J, and M. Okay. Any further discussion on the matter? Any further discussion on the matter?
I was gonna say, because I'm standing strong in grocery stores, or as Commissioner Thompson Wright say, stores, because we gotta speak that into the atmosphere. I'm kinda stuck when we can bring a vote, cause I came in here with one vote on my mind, and I'm still leaning towards, and y'all already know what I'm leaning, cause I said it last week in the executive meeting.
So we're not voting on the.
No, I'm just saying we're having a discussion. I'm just saying because we've already had the discussion, last week. I'm kinda leery about this. That's just me, and we are all in our own separate commissions, so we are allowed to have our own opinions because we serve a different crowd. And so I know what my community is asking for over here, and so, yeah, that's just where I stand, if y'all can read between the lines.
Go ahead. You was asking for the, were y'all able to get Cunningham off of, mute?
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay. So the matter up for vote right now is to award the land. That is the matter right now. Nothing happens without the land being awarded. So that's what this vote here is specific to. All right, seeing no further discussion, we will move to the previous question.
One last thing. Going back to Ebony Rose's question, about them paying awarding.
Well, we asked them, so nobody else has came forward with it. I don't know if
That's all I'm worried about, is there someone else out there?
nobody else came forward to say that, or them pay has not said anything about it, to the best of my knowledge. I ain't getting nothing different.
So let me clarify really quick. The parcels 1 and 2 went through phases 1 and 2 went through a different process. Instead of us waiting on DENPED another 5, 10, 15 years to come to us and say, hey, we want to put the rest of these parcels out, we're saying to DENPED, hey, as a matter of fact, we want you to award these parcels to said group now. So DENPED has nothing to do with anything else beyond, in this moment, awarding the parcel.
No, I understood very clearly, but I'm saying, do we know for sure that nobody else?
If there is somebody else to engage, they can reach out to DENPED, they can engage us. I mean, it is what it is.
All right, y'all go ahead so we can vote, because I already know which way I'm gonna go either way, so it don't matter.
It's fine.
Okay. Do a roll call vote. Commissioner Cunningham? Commissioner Hughes, second.
Yes, you did.
Yep. Commissioner Cunningham?
Just went on mute.
Tell him he don't have to hit mute. Tell him to unmute.
There he is.
He keep unmuting and stuff, but then when it's time to talk, he hits mute.
Commissioner Cunningham, can you hear us?
hit the unmute button again and just talk. There you go. Talk, just talk. Don't touch nothing. Commissioner Cunningham, just talk.
Yes. I'm gonna look at those and stuff.
Go ahead, you fine, sir.
I'm sorry. I just hey,
You're good.
I'm sorry, but I'm just listening, but I was asking for Mr. Kilmore email and other emails, but I was gonna ask at the end of this end of the meeting.
No, we were actually, we're voting on what you were listening to, Commissioner, and then, we'll get the secretary to send you over all of the commissioner's email. Kimmery is the 7F03, commissioner, and we'll, if you hit 7F03, you'll be able to email him when you want to, but we were actually on the vote, we were asking you, what was your vote, yes or no? For the project you were just listening to.
Okay, so what do you want me to do? Oh, you want me verbally say?
No, just say yes or no.
On the project?
Yes, on the project.
I mean, I'm right now, I'm gonna say no. Right, for right now, I'm gonna say no because I didn't have no initiative as far as dealing with residents re-entering back in to society, being offered jobs. So right now, till I hear something else to affect the residents coming home, I'm gonna say no for right now.
You missed the entire project. You missed the entire component then.
How was that?
Because that was addressed.
Because that was addressed, and they told you what percentage they were putting in for returning citizens and as well as dedicated housing for returning citizens.
Oh, I'm sorry. It must have been when I stepped out because you know what, even under these conditions, I still got to follow the rules and regulations, so I had to go downstairs. So I'm trying to miss that part.
Okay, I was just wondering, that was the reason for your vote that you missed.
No, well, no, I'm all for bringing jobs and everything to our community, and I wish I would have know a little bit more. If my vote to say yes or no or something like that, that's something big. I would like to know a little bit more, but
Commissioner, you have the right to abstain. You have the right.
Yes, I do that for right now. I do that.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Thompson, right?
Yeah.
Commissioner Edwards?
Yes.
Commissioner Hughes?
Yes.
Commissioner Nelson?
No.
Commissioner Orndorff?
Abstain.
Commissioner Ruff?
No.
With 3 in favor, 2 noes, and 2 abstentions, it passes. Is there another motion on the floor?
Commissioner Cunningham, he wanna, okay.
Commissioner Cunningham, I hope you're still with us. We got a few more votes.
Oh, yeah. I'm so sorry, I just got thrown for a minute. I had to get refreshed. I motion that we propose a letter of support to the city council and for legislation for gaming for this casino that will potentially be funding our projects and more and beyond.
Motion made, is there a second to the motion?
I second.
Motion made by Commissioner Thompson Wright, seconded by Commissioner Ruff. Discussion on the matter, clarification once again, letter of support or resolution?
A resolution. I'm sorry, I want letters in my head because I'm just stuffed in letters. Resolution.
Offer friendly amendment, offer an amendment, is it friendly?
Yeah, it's friendly.
Okay. Any further discussion on the support resolution for gaming legislation? I'm sorry, any further discussion? Discussion? Seeing no discussion, we'll move to the previous question, and once again, a roll call vote. Commissioner Cunningham.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Commissioner Cunningham, how do you vote?
I just gave you my vote. We voting on something else?
Yes, sir. We're voting on the actual casino, the gaming legislation.
Oh, no, no.
Commissioner Thompson, right?
Yeah.
Commissioner Edwards?
Yes.
Commissioner Hughes?
Yes.
Commissioner Nelson?
No.
Commissioner Orndorff? Commissioner Orndorff, how do you vote?
No.
Commissioner Ruff?
No.
Commissioner Holcomb, yes.
You abstain.
I abstain for them being awarded the land,
Awarded the land.
not gaming legislation.
But y'all are asking though in the legislation, are y'all asking for them to be awarded?
It's-
Or it's
No,
just
I'm
in
talking
general?
in general,
Oh,
gaming
gaming in
period.
general.
We already got sports betting, so it's like you'd add one more component to it. I mean, that's the legislation I'm going,
Yeah,
you already got
I'm still
that,
no.
right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still in no.
All right, by a vote of 4 in favor, 3 against, it passes. All right, both resolutions will be transmitted to the council member, Ward 7 council member, as well as the chairman's office.
Yeah.
What was that vote again?
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I'm wrong.
It's tied.
It's a tie.
We have we do for like a 5-minute discussion to have a revote. Is that what we're gonna do?
Mine's not gonna change.
Is there any commissioner who has some questions for, in reference to the gaming aspect? So that we may be able to do a revote and get through this. We're talking, if we're moving from sports betting on the horses and the football teams to you up in the ante to poker or some sort of car or slot machine. You're all betting on something. Gambling is gambling. I don't know how you look at it, it's gambling. So I'm really not sure of the aspect of when you go play the lottery, it's gambling. So I'm really not sure where a lot of folks are heads are at. I know that may get a little bit intricate because we're talking about an actual brick and mortar on it and it's just centralized in one place. But I know people on their phones who are gambling at MGM, but they in the house. So whether it's brick and mortar, you're gambling at MGM on your phone across the river, you're at lottery from Virginia, Maryland, DC when a Powerball is coming through. I'm kind of confused as to what the mix kind of is on the aspect of gambling, because if it doesn't come from us just giving a resolution, somebody else in another ward is going to say yeah, and gambling is going to be here because that's the same thing that happened with the sports betting. I'm really not sure why the dynamic is so different here. and maybe because it's in our particular SMD, but, who is going to be funding anything particular at a large scale at this juncture minus, what CBA we've been awarded, and that's gonna be structural cost awards from RFK. If we wanna get something specific, and we're looking to be 7F specific as the Chapman Group has stated, then we need to give some wiggle, because it doesn't look like there are a lot of people lined up, even now that RFK is lined up here to come this way to provide us with some amenities that will brighten the neighborhood, as we all know is pretty dim at this particular time. In that, I would just like to hear kind of, you know, maybe Commissioner Orndorff, where you are with your no, reason being. I know it's not a question for me to question your no, but I would just like to kind of see, you know, around about where we are with the no. I know Commissioner Nelson had explained her reason for no. I don't know the particulars, or if Commissioner Cunningham was really tuned into it to listen to the entire proposal for his answer of no. But I would just, you know, kind of just a consensus to see, you know, where we are, or reason being that, you know, we're not trying to get something tangible on board so that 7 kind of moves along. We're really dramatic here with this halfway house that's coming, and we have no entertainment here, and these venues and these spaces have to be funded. So I'm kind of trying to figure out where we think these funds are coming from. If that's an ask, Commissioner Orndorff, just something quick.
I don't believe in gaming.
Understood. I thank you for your answer.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Now that you explained it the way you explained it, as well as saying that they did address what my most concern was, far as initiative for those coming home for prison and providing them with jobs, then I'm all for it. I never said no. I said I'd stay, but hearing you more clearly and then it addressed my issue, then I say yes now, if I can.
That was for the other initiative. They put it down now, but we are noting that you are changing your vote for the very first act, for the first motion. We are noting that, but we cannot change it at this particular point. But we were going to the next question, which was if you would be willing to consider having them have some legislation in the city council for the gaming that would fund or help assist fund those re-entry things that these persons are planning to have here, as well as other items for persons that are not incarcerated, that they will be able to see some generational wealth, persons of our color and our factions, and also have some sort of long-term footage in the neighborhood for those long-term housings for those percentages of the returning citizens.
You said.
Yes, I'm definitely all for providing jobs for our community. So anything it's just, listen, I've been 3 days sick. I've been running wild all day today, but I'm hearing what you're saying now, and as long as it's for jobs and providing our people with jobs, I'm all for it. And that's what I stand for. That's what I advocate for as well, while I'm working and mentoring these young men in this prison. So I'm all for anything that can make our city come back to what it was. So yes, I'm definitely for that then.
Okay, so in that,
We we've been listening. So
Yeah.
the legislation that they're introducing for jobs only requires them to have 51% of them to employ people who are residents of DC. It doesn't guarantee our specific commission. So I want to make sure we're clear about the legislation.
Correct.
We're going into it.
I got that.
Yeah, but I'm just making sure he understands because he didn't hear it.
Oh, yeah.
So with that,
Because
I
all,
just wanted,
people from all wards come out of the jail.
okay,
Okay.
so Commissioner Thompson, right, I
Go ahead.
listened to you.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I apologize. Go ahead.
So I just wanted to be clear about that, so he knows that aspect of the employment. And I agree, people from various wards come from the jail, but I just want to be clear about that. The other piece is that I am happy that Commissioner Holcomb mentioned that if they're not able to get legislation for gaming, that they do have a contingency plan to be able to still operate in that space and contribute to the community. And my hope is that regardless of the outcome of this vote, whether it's the vote, like for the vote for legislation, or to be able to still move forward, you have the parcel of land. That's been established with the vote, right? So my hope is that regardless of the outcome, if you don't get the gaming, that you still have the commitment that you have said at the top of this meeting to contribute to our community, right? And that's the biggest piece that I'm advocating for at the moment, right? I want to be clear, I support you, you know, and your investment. I just don't agree with this. All right, thank you.
Okay. And in that, I would ask that we would do a revote on move to the previous question.
Motion has been called for us to move to the previous question and end debate. We will now move to a revote of the matter. Commissioner Cunningham, how do you vote?
Oh, yes.
Commissioner Thompson-Wright, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Edwards, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Hughes, how do you vote? Commissioner Hughes, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Nelson, how do you vote? No. Commissioner Orndorff, how do you vote?
No.
Commissioner Ruff, how do you vote?
Nope.
Commissioner Holcomb, yes. 5 yeses, 3 noes, the motion carries. And with that, both resolutions will be provided to the council member and the chairman's office by the end of the week. Thank you all so very much.
Commissioner Cunningham,
Yes, ma'am.
please can you respond to my emails? I sent you 10. 7
And what's-
07. And we can talk in the morning. I'll get Gaskins to hook us up, but can you give me we need to talk because I need to get some information from you. And I sent you an email for a couple ads.
Okay, now, because he just said, we've been going through a lot of stuff, and the email you might have had was something that I wasn't plugged into today. So, I definitely look forward to, talking to you and building with you as well. And definitely phone call. If we can set up a phone call would be more better, but I'll respond back to your email.
I'm gonna try to set up a phone call.
Everybody here in Galveston.
There you go, in your own neighborhood, say it again.
All of them seniors.
What's the benefit? Thank you, Cunningham, we'll hook up tomorrow, okay?
All right, thank you. Y'all be safe, and thank y'all.
No, we're not done yet, we're not done.
Oh, okay, okay.
All right, we are still in commission business.
Commission business.
We are still in commission business. At this time, is there a motion present on contract renewals?
I motion, for us to, renew the contract for Lily Washington.
Motion made by Commissioner Thompson-Wright. Is there a second to the motion? Seconded by Commissioner Edwards. Discussion?
Like I said before in the discussion last week, I went through the site today and I looked and it's still pictures from 2 years prior before I came on the commission. It's no pictures of the new commissioners. Like, what the hell are we paying her for?
Can we get together?
No,
And put,
tried this before.
Orndorff said he was gonna put something together.
No.
to get on the site.
We tried this before. And I reached out to Ms. Walton, who seems to be a phantom of pay, because I've been for 2 years asking for Walton's contract. And then y'all had the nerve to come to the meeting, and then at the meeting in the middle of the year and say, oh, she's gonna show up at the end of the year. It's November, you're renewing her contract, and we ain't seen her face. So I'll give the floor back. We haven't seen her face. There's nothing you can say to me about Lindsay Walton. Don't even bring her name up.
Commissioner Orndorff, I would substantiate your stance if you were to produce an email showing me.
Mr. Hope, Commissioner Hope, I'm gonna give you right back, but I want you to check it.
Commissioner Orndorff, point of order, I have the floor.
No games with me, man. On no emails.
I have the floor,
Commissioner
Orndorff. I have the floor.
The floor is yours, but don't play no games with me, man.
God dang it. If you produce an email showing that you reached out to Lindsay,
I will forward it to you right now. Keep on going with the rest.
Sure. Okay. In addition to that, 2 different times, maybe even 3 times, when this came up in a meeting, Commissioner Orndorff, when you brought it to the commission's attention before Commissioner Ruff in this moment, I gave you an outline to follow for the updates.
Yeah. And you said you was gonna do it. And you said okay, twice.
No, and the funny thing about this, since with this Lindsay Walton, I have created websites for all the commissioners on a whole nother platform. And I've showed the commissioners their brand new websites while we've been in almost 2 years of waiting on Lindsay Walton.
Commissioner Orndorff, I haven't seen a brand new website for myself.
I didn't send it. I sent it to the ones that agreed. Hey, brother, I sent it out to everybody, and I asked y'all to respond back if you wanted to be a part of this website chain that I sent. I sent it out to everybody, and I'll resend it. But the Lindsay Walton is a no for me. It ain't no need to argue and fussing about it because she ain't showed her face in 2 years and you keep paying her. So it's a no.
All right. Any further discussion?
No.
Okay. Is the motion to renew her at the current amount?
Yeah.
All right. No further discussion. We'll move to the previous question and now the vote. I assume we should do a roll call vote?
Yeah.
All right.
Roll call.
Commissioner Cunningham, how do you vote?
I've been voted yes.
Commissioner Thompson Wright, how do you vote?
Yeah.
Commissioner Edwards, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Hughes, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Nelson, how do you vote? Commissioner Orndorff, how do you vote?
No.
Commissioner Ruff, how do you vote?
No.
Commissioner Holcomb, yes. 5 in favor, 3 against, it carries. Next matter, Secretary's report.
About the secretary report.
Everybody was just, we got your, Commissioner Orndorff, you real hostile. We were just trying to
I'm
figure
not
out.
hostile. Miss Wright, Commissioner Wright, this is Commissioner Wright. Hold on. Commissioner Wright, you're not the chair. Commissioner Wright, you're not the chair, and I'm not being hostile. Let the chair answer these questions about these minutes and let the floor be on him. Now, when we get back to these minutes, for the last couple of weeks, he's been sending emails between me and Dakota, let's meet. He ain't sent no Zoom to meet or anything. The meetings I've already, and I just want to be on the record because of him violating that documentation that was sent out by the OAG in reference to access, immediate access. Not, oh, you got to jump through hoop access. Not, oh, you got to beg him and wait for 5 codes, and when the codes expire, access. Access so the secretary can do and perform their duties. I have not seen an access code. I was not at the meeting on the 10th because it was on a Monday. And that meeting was not put out in a productive way so that we all could be a part of an executive meeting. So if something was done in an executive meeting, I was not a part of it, and there's no recording or transcripts of it. So now back to the October meetings. I'm asking for those meetings, that whatever you're trying to approve, To be deferred, to be deferred, to be deferred, to be deferred.
Point of order. The floor is yielded to you as a secretary for you to move for the approval of the minutes. Now let's get this straight.
Hey, I'm not a moving to approve anything that I don't have.
Commissioner in a decade, and it is ridiculous.
Dude,
It is ridiculous.
you know,
It's utterly ridiculous.
what is ridiculous is how you have ran the operation. Okay?
Can we please wrap this up, y'all?
Make this shit spectacle.
And we can talk about we've been talking about minutes for the longest time. And here we are in October and I don't get no access. Here it is in November. I don't get no access for the meeting that we just had. You crazy, man. And I apologize. I apologize to the community. I apologize to the community wholeheartedly. Right now, I put it down at the feet of my Lord and the Creator that gave us life today. Listen, unmuted me ain't got no, I apologize to the community.
For the record, Commissioner Orndorff, for the record, tonight's vote, the vote on the minutes tonight is imperative because of the fact that the quarterly financial report was approved the month before. Commissioner Orndorff.
We were all sitting here just trying to ask you a question about the October minutes because
They're off the minutes.
Even Nelson was asking, we all asked because it was just us trying to say, but you asked the question. So you asked the same question. You wanted to know if you asked the same question.
Hold on. Let's get one thing straight. Let's get one thing straight.
We had saw them.
Let's get one thing straight. I have never.
We were just unclear. Was it
I've
that
never.
all of us hadn't looked at them, or what were you saying? That's what we were asking. That's all. We were just unclear as to what you were asking in your email. That's what I was asking you. That's all. We just wanted to know because some of us read your October minutes and I thought they were okay. I spoke to Nelson at the table at the same time. We had that same question and she said she thought they were okay. We were unclear. Were you saying you were not going to vote on them tonight because you thought there were mistakes, or was it because nobody responded back that you had put the October meeting minutes out? That was the only question that I was trying to ask you. That was it. I just wanted to know that. We didn't know from your email where you saying you didn't want them because none of us said, yeah, we received them or we approved them, or by looking at them when you sent them out. That's what we were asking, not that I didn't know the rest of this was even going on. I was unclear about this. That's why I was kind of off on your email. That's what I was trying to ask you. That's why I was like, why are you coming off at me hostile? I just wanted to ask you about your email to see if you were saying that we were going to approve them or not approve them because nobody responded back to when you posted them up. And we read them. I did read them, and I thought that they were okay. I asked Nelson the same thing. She said, I read them, and I thought they were okay, too. So now we're getting your story version of it. I don't know. That's why I was asking the question, Commissioner Orndorff.
No problem, Commissioner Wright. And again, the question I need to ask you guys, the minutes that y'all approving, are they September meetings?
The ones you had just posted like about 2 weeks ago.
That was September. That wasn't October. I have not even had access. I have not had access to October. So when I saw the October meetings to be approved in this agenda, I'm like, how? Because I haven't even seen, haven't had access.
You were the only one making the motion to approve them, so we wouldn't be able to approve them without you making the motion.
That's what I was saying. I
That's what we
deferred.
were unclear at.
I'm sorry for any confusion into the community. I deferred to October.
That's why I was like, you jumped the gun all on me for no reason.
I didn't pull my gun. Listen, you know I love y'all as much as I can possibly love. But at the end of the day, the minutes that are up for approval, I have never seen them and haven't drafted them, hadn't put them together, and they came on the agenda. That was my problem.
That's what we all were trying to ask.
That was my problem.
Can I just make a point of clarification? Let me just please make a point of clarification. And let me please say, under no circumstance should I as chairperson conduct myself in the way that I just did, no matter how frustrated I am. But my frustration is real. because I've been trying to get you to understand that there are certain things that are just standard. Putting the minutes on the agenda for approval is standard. It can be tabled at any point in time. The reality of the fact that we get approval for releasing of funds based on the quarterly financial report being approved in a timely manner, putting the minutes into the portal, and those funds then being released so that we can do the things that we're doing, they purchasing the equipment, paying for our space on Marshall Heights. Well, we don't have to do that as much the amount anymore. But that's all I've ever been trying to get across in terms of process. I don't have any problem being transparent about process. And I'm not rehashing anything that we previously talked about. That's going to be in the past. We talked about going forward. If you were frustrated with the lack of access, there could have been a conversation where your phone number was then added to the text verification. I don't even know how to do the adding people to Microsoft verification. We could have went down to the Wilson building together. I have repeatedly tried to make the ability to reach across the aisle. That's not just us meeting on Zoom, whatever the case is. I've repeatedly done that, right? At the end of the day, our job is here to serve. And as a chairperson, my job isn't to hoard information. That is not by any means what I'm attempting to do. So my frustration it lies in this perspective that I'm trying to hoard passwords or information, and then for you to say in a public meeting that a statement being released by the OEG's office is because of me. I don't understand. I don't know.
I did not say it was released because of you. That statement was released because of probably a citywide thing about passwords. It ain't just a particular person. It couldn't be. It couldn't be if it came out. Like I said, I draw back and I apologize. That's the least I can do, and that's all I can do. And that's all I'm going to do.
I accept and I apologize to you as well. The matter at hand right now is we need to approve some form of minutes. Now, if we don't approve minutes tonight because they're not prepared, that means we need to call a special meeting in which we'll have to get online in front of the public. I think the only other alternative is to propose preparing minutes by said time with review period by the commission so that we meet the deadline that the OANC has set so that we are not late.
Excuse me, Ms. Wright, Commissioner Wright, what'd you say?
The deadline was the 15th. We've already.
45 days from the ending of the QF of the previous quarter.
And the deadline was, read the email, have y'all submitted that QFR? And we have not.
October, so.
This is November.
September, October, no. September, October, November. December, January, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. No.
We've already had 2 late. How about that?
So the previous month in which the quarterly financial report is approved, the way it works is that previous month, you get 45 days from the end of that previous month. 45 days from October 30th. So we're not late until, December.
Go ahead, I'm gonna just refresh you.
And I mean,
they just ask that we submit out.
If that's for that particular quarter, the minutes won't even be done until this meeting.
That's what she asked me, did I approve them? And I said, are we coming back at this meeting to approve the minutes to go for the quarter?
So the question I have is the ONAC contributing to our arithmetic off balance a little bit with them asking for stuff, and what's happening?
I think this new portal just got everybody out of whack because
it just seems to be coming down to us.
Yeah, they want it done electronically. We're used to it going the same way. Yeah, because Q3 was a late filing, and we know we got this right here. Then we got, so I think this is like our second, I don't know, this is they consider this the first one or the second one. We got a grace period, however this was done. But at any rate, can you get with Dakota as soon as possible? That's what we're talking about, so that we can get these minutes done.
I sent her an email, so I don't want to call the young lady because I'm 62 years old, so I don't want to worry her. That's why I go through the email exchanges.
You emailed her already?
I emailed
Did you reply back to his
I
email?
emailed her
She
the-
said she replied back to your email, Kimmery. She's
Yeah,
right there.
Yeah, no, we had a little quick change, but the thing was, all three of us were supposed to come together on a Zoom to iron out whatever we were supposed to do, and nothing happened. Now, I wouldn't be so frustrated if
What's the date you want to do it, Kimmery, so that can be on your time this time, so we can get it
No,
done?
I put the ballpark in Dakota's, because she is
So
our,
what's your next available date?
I am available
Thursday, she
anytime
said
in
she has
the
available, Kimmery.
Thursday,
What time?
whatever time she sets, whatever
She
time.
said Thursday at 4:00.
4 o'clock, Dakota, let's do a
So
Zoom.
is it a Zoom or is it a
Tell her
phone
to
call?
send me a Zoom link, so that
Send
way
them
we
a
can.
Zoom link. Send them an invite now and send them a Zoom link. She's doing it right now, so we can get those out the way.
All right.
So Commissioner Orndorff, I would also want to say, she serves at the pleasure of the executive committee. While she does support the commission, the executive committee can be a part of any communications you have with her, just to make sure that nothing goes unanswered on either side.
No problem. I've been trying to unite me and her forces. Like I said, me and her forces.
Unite the forces and the powers that be.
I'm talking about the forces I'm talking about the Go have a cocktail. Me and you. Go have a cocktail, me and you.
You ain't gonna do nothing but drink ginger ale.
That's all you're gonna do, drink a ginger ale.
I'm sorry.
Only Miss Wright know my cocktails.
All right.
All right, we moving on, okay.
Is there a motion present?
A motion to approve we're doing the October minutes, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Motion to approve the October minutes with working with Dakota on Thursday, tomorrow. What, tomorrow's Thursday? No.
Tomorrow's Wednesday.
The 20, all right. To work with Dakota so we can just game plan to get these minutes, whatever needs to be done, be done. That's all. Okay? You know, like I said, when I sign off on these things, it's important to me because it goes with my name on it, and that stuff gets all over the web.
All right. And then turned around by what date? I'm sorry, you gotta make the.
No, I'm saying this.
I'm sorry, that's the motion. I'm sorry.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me look at them October.
Motion by Commissioner Orndorff, while you got me counting, motion by Commissioner Orndorff, second to the motion.
I second.
Seconded by Commissioner Edwards, discussion. So the minutes will be work to be prepared on this coming Thursday. We'll turn them around and be able to send them out to commissioners by what date? So they can be uploaded to the board.
By the weekend. At least by the weekend, if we do it Thursday, y'all can see them on Friday, at least early Friday morning. We finish up by 4, at least by that evening sometime we can clear it. That cool Dakota. I don't even know what Dakota is. The Dakota behind the screen right there?
She's on the side over there. Come up to the aisle, Dakota, so she can see. Hold on, he's going up to the aisle. And Commissioner Orndorff, one more thing.
There go Miss D. Okay, I remember Dakota. Okay, Dakota. Dakota, you have your privilege to call me at any time. Also, I'm nursing my foot in any technical because the screen is kind of cloudy, so we need to work on, just anything that you can email me with the technical side, Miss Tech, okay? I'm more
It's not Dakota that does the tech.
No, I'm doing a duo talk. See, I'm doing my director thing.
Okay,
My
you see
tech,
both of them.
and I'm talking to my queen on the other side also. I'm just doing duo. They know what I'm doing. Leave them old folk alone over
Let me
there.
try to wipe it off again.
Yeah,
And multiple people have wiped it, and it's just still.
And then Commissioner Orndorff.
There's an issue.
A feature with the folks.
And
You
there's
have
a,
an amendment?
no amendment. Go ahead, we're gonna vote real fast. I gotta say something.
All right.
Yes.
So the goal would be to ensure that they're uploaded to the portal by next Monday, the 24th.
Yes.
All right.
I've sent September to Don already. The ones that, because listen, I sent you guys the ones with the the recap from what her proposal was for the.
We got it. No pun intended. It's 9:25. We still down here. You in the house. So
Hey, man, I'll come put the alarm on.
All right. Motion to previous question. Debate is closed. Now the vote. All those in favor of approving of the minutes to be prepared by our commission secretary and our intern and turned around to all of the commissioners by Saturday morning at the latest and uploaded to the portal on Monday to finalize the quarterly financial report for Q1 of the FY 2026 year, please indicate so by saying aye.
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 The ayes have it. It is unanimous. Commissioner Wright, Tom's right here.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Commissioner Orndorff, when you go into the QFR report right there, go into whatever, year that you want, but you can go into 24 because Dawn made us, huh? Oh, yeah, go ahead.
The time is 9:27 p.m. It seems that we have elapsed our agenda. We will adjourn.
Oh, yeah, okay, real quick. Have a good night, Commissioner Cunningham, I'm calling you in the morning.
Please, Cunningham.
All right, my brother, I'm gonna get you.
Here you go, Cunningham. Go ahead. You got a pencil and paper right there, Cunningham. Go ahead and jot it down.
We got another initiative for you.
You ready?
Yeah, Orndorff.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get this. Cunningham. Hold on, Commissioner Wright. Cunningham, 202-810-4576.
8170.
810-4576. That's my home. I'm having problems with the NC phone.
I'll reach out to you.
Okay, my brother.
So I can get up to speed, something what's going on.
Hit me up, brother.
All right.
Commissioner Orndorff.
I'm here, Commissioner Wright. I'm here.
Inside of the QFR.
Uh-huh.
You can see all of the agreements for each intern that we have had on site. Remember, Dawn had us to make them upload. So when you go in there, you can put the thing and put 2024 Q whatever and look in there for the agreement. Any personnel that we've had and their W-9s are attached. You can go right in there, you can go back and look at it and pop it up. You can see Lindsay's contract, because I heard you say you didn't see it. So then you'll be able to see it right in there. It's on the portal. You just need to go back into the year. At the top of the screen, the drop down, go to 24, hit, I think it's like December was the last time we did it. Look in there and it say supporting documents. It should say agreements, but it should tell the name beside it. It should say Lindsay Walton contract, W-9 for Quadir's agreement. It should have everybody's thing, the lease contract for Marshall Heights, because every dollar that we spend, we have to account for. So you know the interns were making over, they're making over the $600, so they have to have the W-9. So it has to be an agreement with them. So anybody under the
Look, hold on. Look at that technical whiz over there just shaking her head. Yeah, more money.
Yeah, she know, yeah.
Hey, I'm a technical. Hey, mama. I'm working with 3 screens right now behind me, so I know what it is to have to be dealing with the technical side.
Tax season is coming. Okay. So
Go ahead, Don. Go ahead,
you
love.
all have the questions in the cloud.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Everything's in the cloud.
Okay.
See, she know her stuff. She ain't in the cloud. We got a good one this time. Okay. All right.
Good Queen Bee. I like a little technical side there. And
Okay.
mute
All right.
and muting me.
Next time, just go to
Please,
backstage.